I can't believe how many of you are struggling with wrapping your beanie around this. There could never be an event at the UFC. That's crazy. It's just impossible. They're not going to do it. Like if they haven't done crazier things, fool. Have you ever heard of the moon landing? Conspiracy? 9/11? How about JFK? Who framed Roger Rabbit? You're still living back in the prelims, homie. It's time to wake up and smell the rose namajunas. I think we know by now that Michael Bisping isn't playing with the full prescription. But we could at least hope that his hindsight is 20/20. He doesn't always look at things objectively because, for lack of a better term, he's bought and paid for, which is unfortunate because you start off as a roughneck, you start off as a fighter, and you go out to pasture as a suit, as a mouthpiece. It is significant though, he always wears those blue suits. He's always mobbing around in those blue suits at the commentary booth so that we don't pick him out as a red coat. And he thinks he's doing something significant by making a big deal. Oh, Conor McGregor? Nah, Charlie. It's not going to be Conor. He's not going to be the headliner. It's going to be Jon Jones. That's Donald Trump's favorite fighter. We gotta cater to Donald Trump. That's who he wants to see. Well, duh, fool. Of course it's going to be Jon Jones against Tomas Aspinall. Of course it's going to be the American versus the Brit to free the colonies from British rule. Of course PFL is now throwing their hat into the ring and Francis Ngannou is going to fight Jon Jones before Jon Jones liberates France and then takes on the UK. Of course it's going to be a tournament, old school UFC 1993 style, because that's how Donald Trump gets down. Of course that's what's going to happen. You didn't come up with something unique, Michael Bisping, calling this for the count. You should count your blessings that you even have a platform to talk about stuff like this. You don't think we see exactly what you're doing, trying to cater? Rolling up, I am a real naturalized American. I now have a house in America. I can't go back to my own country because I'm a minority now. Of course you're going to be hyping this up because that's the narrative, because you want to fly under the radar with everything that's going on. You're an American now. You're an American now. And this video was sponsored by my Patreon with new videos every weekday. For reals. Now, of course, Donald Trump wanted to go old school style because he's an old school type of dude. And it's going to be tournament style. Yes. But there's going to be different divisions to appease the money-making aspect of it. Donald Trump is still homies with Dana White. He's not going to burn him completely. Donald Trump wants to somehow get his claws into it and make it something of a spectacle. Wants it to be like Enter the Dragon type of style. But he's going to let Dana White make his money. He's going to let Dana White make Dana's green. Of course. And the way to do that is you still allow divisions. Now, if we were going to go full, blood sport, that would be... I want to see Jon Jones and Conor McGregor. That's what I want to see. I want to see Donald Trump and Conor McGregor. Two presidents. But for now, it's still a money-making venture. You got to have your different champions, and we got to respect that. That's what keeps the thing going. That's what keeps the lights on, what keeps the fights on. So Jon Jones, of course, Michael Bisping. What a great idea, Michael Bisping. Oh, you think he wants to see Jon Jones? Oh, okay. I see you. I'm trying to keep up with you, Michael Bisping. So Jon Jones Francis Ngannou, probably throw in Alex Pereira, Tom Aspinall, tournament style, yes. But yes, Conor McGregor. Of course, Michael Chandler. But it depends on how much Conor McGregor is going to weigh. We've been saying Michael Chandler, but maybe, I mean, we can't get out of hand here. We can't say maybe he weighs a little more. Maybe it's Makhachev. Let's not get crazy. Let's maybe just because they're saying that, Michael Bisping thinks it's a great idea. Very original. The whitest of the white, most Americans, he's throwing out Sean Strickland. He's throwing out Dustin Gaethje. Okay, so maybe just let Dustin Gaethje not have to cut weight. Maybe Dustin Gaethje fights Conor McGregor. That would make a lot of sense. Maybe Michael Chandler. I don't know if that fool's a little too chaparro though, but if Michael Chandler could get up there and they all come in like 170, we could have a tournament. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, Dustin Gaethje. Maybe they could tempt Justin Poirier because it's gonna be a White House thing. He likes Donald Trump. He comes and passes out his chile. It's just marketing. It's marketing. It's a good idea. More than half the country starts buying that chile. Throw in Jorge Masvidal just for fun. And then Bisping starts throwing, I'm telling you, just these whitewash, just the most bland. Not a single mention of Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is one of the other ones. It wasn't just Jon Jones. It wasn't just Conor McGregor. Andrew Tate came out and said, hey, I want some of this. I want some of this. And nobody wants to talk about it because everybody wants to be mad at dudes for whatever reasons. And we're going to pretend that we don't like the freak show. UFC, it's watered down now. But it was once referred to as human cockfighting by John McCain, a war prisoner. Now, it wasn't called human cockfighting by Bill Clinton, It wasn't called human cockfighting by Michelle Obama, I'm talking about John McCain. That's like if John Rambo came out and started calling UFC human cockfighting. It's like, dang, if this fool's calling that human cockfight, now I gotta watch now. That's a compliment. That's the best marketing. That's like when Liver King said dudes like Joe Rogan and more plates, more dates, they're the ones that do my marketing. I'll come back to him. That's perfect marketing. So yeah, it's kind of watered down now, and it's more like it's just like everything else, BJJ, judo, everything became a sport, and it got homogenized and watered down, and everything's all soft now, and everyone wins, it gets a trophy type of culture. Anyway, the UFC in and of itself is a freak show in its very roots. So we should embrace the nature of the freak show. We should welcome a figure like Andrew Tate and say, perfect. But don't ruin it by giving Andrew Tate someone like Sean Strickland. Because Sean Strickland likes to be like standing on his, I am a real American. But then when someone else tries to be American, he's like, nah, don't be American like that. You got to be American my way. It's like hypocritical, But I could see someone doing something stale like that. Let's see Andrew Tate versus Strickland. Plus, Strickland likes to fight trolls. He likes to fight dudes that aren't even active fighters right now. That's right up his alley. I'm talking about like Andrew Tate versus Gavin Newsom. Jake Paul. Jake Paul's throwing his gloves into the mix as well. I'm talking about Jake Paul versus LeBron James. How come nobody's bringing up this type of matchup? What do you want to see again? What do you want to see? You want to see Gaethje and Poirier number 5 or Max Holiday and Poirier number 7? Like, what do you guys want to see recycled again? You MMA Puritans who are like, nah, I don't like that nonsense. I don't like the freak show. Send that stuff to Russia. It's too crazy for me. Hey, are you crazy or not? Are we saying just bleed or not, homie? I'm over here trying to rock Just Bleeding. Dudes over here looking for band-aids like a bunch of nerds. Is it UFC or is it UFC? I'm talking about Liver King versus Joe Rogan. I can't believe no one can stop talking. No one stops talking about Jon Jones ducking Tom Aspinall. But we're not going to talk about Joe Rogan ducking the Liver King? Joe Rogan has played his kicking highlights on his podcast more than the UFC has ever played any Jon Jones highlights. That dude is, it's just on a, he has JRE clips, JRE shorts, and JRE spinning back kick. Have you seen that channel? It's just a 24-hour compilation of him doing spinning back kicks. That dude he wants to show his abs. He wants to get in the ice bath. He wants to do all of it until it's time to go. He wants to do all of it until he's like, nah, I'm John McCain, homie. I'm talking about P. Diddy versus R. Kelly. We're not going to the White House. We're not going to the White House to see Strickland and Adesanya. We're not going to the White House to see Tate and Derek Lewis. We're not going to the White House to see Shevchenko and Grasso. If you're going to throw some ladies in there, I need my heavyweights. And I need them bad.